this scene right here from the Avengers 2012 movie, where all the Avengers are arguing, is one of my favourite scenes from the whole MCU, as the acting and dialogue was on point. It was so good. This was literally peak Marvel. And the reason why I think everything was so good here in this scene is because everyone had very valid points. You could understand each of their side of the argument and each of their perspectives, which I thought was pretty cool. And during this whole argument, there are some pretty key foreshadowings, some pretty cool scenes, some pretty dark scenes. Like, this whole scene has it all, in my opinion. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down below on this whole scene, and if I do make any type of mistake, please correct me in the comments below. And enough yapping, let's just get into it.
What is Phase 2? Phase 2 is S.H.I.E.L.D. uses the cube to make weapons.
Rogers, we gathered everything related to the Tesseract. This does not mean that we're
sorry, Nick. What were you lying?
I was wrong, Director. The world hasn't changed a bit.
Okay, cool. Right here, you can clearly see the tensions are starting to rise as Captain America, Iron Man, and Bruce are all trying to figure out what S.H.I.E.L.D. are really up to, and specifically why Nick Fury is being so secretive and just being mad dodgy in general. And Steve at the end realizing that the world isn't that much different from his time, that does actually say a lot, I can't lie, about us humans in general. But yeah.
Hasn't changed a bit.
Did you know about this?
You want to think about removing yourself from this environment, Doctor?
I was in Calcutta. I was pretty well removed.
Loki is manipulating you.
And you've been doing what exactly?
You didn't come here because I bat my eyelashes at you.
Yes, and I'm...
Right here, Natasha and Thor just come in trying to tell Bruce to leave after finding out Loki is trying to manipulate the Hulk, because in a previous scene, Natasha was actually interrogating Loki, trying to figure out what he's really up to, and she calls Thor for backup in the lab, so that's why Thor is there. And as we know Natasha does work for S.H.I.E.L.D., we can see in the scene, the way she talks, she is also defending S.H.I.E.L.D.'s actions. And Bruce's quick, witty responses saying that Natasha is doing the same type of manipulating that Loki's doing was pretty cool in my opinion, as we don't really get to see Bruce's like quick wittiness in the later movies, because I can't lie, I feel like the MCU just forgot about Bruce's whole quick wittiness, being very intelligent, being quick, like on the ball. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool to look back on. And also, what I think is kind of funny about this scene is, well, Thor being called for backup and seeing that Bruce is the one that he needs to prepare for. He's probably wondering, why is this small, fragile, shy-looking scientist a big threat? I thought that was pretty funny if you really think about it, but yeah.
I'd like to know why S.H.I.E.L.D. is using the Tesseract to build weapons of mass destruction.
Because of him.
Me. Last year, Earth had a visitor from another planet. We learned that not only are we not alone, but we are hopelessly, hilariously outgunned.
At this moment, Nick Fury finally explains why S.H.I.E.L.D. are using the Tesseract to make these crazy big weapons, because, well, I'm pretty sure he's referring to the Destroyer from the previous Thor movie, or it could just be another off-screen event that happened. But also remember that Nick Fury does know about other life forms as well. We know this from the Captain Marvel movie. He knows about Captain Marvel and the Skrulls and the Kree and all of that. So he does actually have a valid point, saying that Earth is absolutely getting smoked if we don't have any type of defense system against these bigger life forms. So I can't lie, that is very valid from Nick Fury. And I mean, Nick Fury is literally one of the best spies of all time. So of course he's going to have secrets upon secrets. And he's not just going to tell his new created team about the other life forms that exist. I mean, Thor probably knows, but yeah.
My people want nothing but peace with your planet.
But you're not the only people out there, are you? And you're not the only threat. The world's filling up with people who can't be matched. They can't be controlled.
Like you controlled the cube?
Nick Fury does also make another good point to Thor, saying that there are more threats than just Asgardians. Although Asgardians do just more time just want peace with the Earthlings, but there are also other beings that have recently just popped up out of nowhere who can't be controlled, which he could be referring to outside Earth, but also within Earth. Just remember, when he's talking about not being able to control these other beings, just remember he is literally trying to control the Hulk, the strongest being on Earth, Thor, the God of Thunder, Iron Man, literally the smartest tech genius on Earth, Captain America, a literal super soldier, and one of the world's best assassins by putting them all into a team. So I can't lie, Nick Fury, he could be referring to different stuff right here. As well, we know during the movie he's very cautious of the Hulk, and he literally told General Ross in the Hulk movie to leave the Hulk alone. Like, it's S.H.I.E.L.D. business now. So yeah, he does actually have a good point saying that there are a lot of big threats that he can't control, but the fact he's telling the team about other life forms, the team doesn't realize Nick Fury also refers to them, which I thought was quite cool, but yeah.
Your work with the Tesseract is what drew Loki to it, and his allies. It is a signal to all the realms that the Earth is ready for a higher form of war.
A higher form?
You forced our hand. We had to come up
A
with
nuclear deterrent. Because that always calms everything right down.
Remind me again how you made your fortune, Stark.
I'm sure if he still made weapons, Stark would be neck deep.
Wait, hold on. How is this now about me?
I'm sorry, isn't everything?
Okay, right here is where it starts to properly kick off right here. 4. Although he knows Loki is in the wrong, of course, he also does try to defend Loki as, well, he is right. As the humans, for example S.H.I.E.L.D., if they are playing around with a cosmic, destructive, multiversal type of weapon, of course other people will try to fight Earth, as it literally does send a signal to the other beings that Earth is actually quite powerful if they are able to handle such a weapon. So 4 is right in that sense. I mean, that is literally the reason why Loki literally found the Tesseract. And also Thanos. Literally Thanos, one of the most powerful beings in the whole universe, knows about Earth. He literally sent Loki because of the Tesseract and the Infinity Stone. So yeah, when 4 says it will lead to a higher form of war, he is absolutely not wrong. And Steve thinking higher form, he is there realizing that there is going to be much bigger problems than the Red Skull War back in his time. And Nick Fury is slightly dissing Tony Stark about the weapons. I mean, Nick Fury isn't wrong.
I thought humans were more evolved than this.
Excuse me, did we come to your planet and blow stuff
You
up?
understand
Treat your
this is a
champions
team,
with
right?
such
You're not my
mistrust.
Are you
champion.
boys really
What
that
is it about me
naive?
that bothers you so
S.H.I.E.L.D.
much?
monitors
I'm
potential
curious.
threats.
Captain America's on threat
We
watch.
all
Not
are.
your concern, Doctor.
You're on.
4 seeing all of the tension right here and saying that he thought humans are better than this, as, I mean, we know he does love the people of Earth and he respects the people of Earth, of course. And Nick basically shutting him down by saying, you people are the ones that started blowing up Earth. I mean, it's not exactly 4's fault, but we know what Nick Fury is trying to say. And 4 saying that you treat your champions with such mistrust is actually a very good line, as it also shows he also respects the other people in the room by including them on his level. As, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's referring to himself as a champion and the others. And then you just hear Nick Fury in the background shouting, you are not my champion. I can't lie, that was pretty funny, I won't lie. And not only that, he's also trying to say, why don't you put more trust in the champions or heroes that you supposedly are trying to make as a team? Natasha then steps in defending S.H.I.E.L.D. yet again by saying that they are always taking precautions with different type of threats, and Bruce quick-wittiness, of course, saying that is Steve also a threat, and Natasha back down saying that we are all a threat, as any of them could literally go rogue.
That list, are you above or below entity?
Stark, so help me God, you make one more lie.
Verbal threat. I feel threatened.
Show some respect.
If I need to put you down, then I will.
I must also say, the camera work during this whole scene is absolutely amazing. The fact they're just panning to everyone so smoothly, showing the scepter right here, which is alluding to the fact that the scepter is actually making them all like tense up and more aggressive, which I thought was pretty cool. The fact that it could be manipulating them, but yeah. And the fact that they just found out Loki is trying to manipulate the Hulk. Bruce Banner is literally standing next to the scepter, which is possibly mind controlling him as well. But
You speak of control, yet you cause chaos.
This is MO, isn't it? I mean, what are we, a team? No. We're a chemical mixture that makes chaos. We're a time bomb.
You need to step away.
Why shouldn't the guy let off a little steam?
You know damn well why. Back off.
4 right here saying that you talk of control, but you end up causing more problems, as, I mean, he's not wrong, as whenever humans are messing around with powerful stuff, it never goes well. And Bruce starts to clock it and says, this isn't really a team. This is a whole mess. This is a whole chemical mixture right here, in his words. Referring to the fact that Nick is trying to put a bunch of powerful individuals together, that also could go wrong. And Nick Fury looking all frightened, like, look at his face. He tries to tell Bruce to pretty much calm down, and Tony actually defends Bruce, of course, by saying, why can't Bruce let his emotions out? Why can't he express himself? And, well, yeah, Steve, of course, gets mad at that by saying, you should know why we cannot let Bruce get angry, because, well, he could literally kill all of us here. That's what he's trying to say. And this right here already shows the aura and the power that Bruce / the Hulk had back in the early MCU. Everyone in that room knows if Bruce starts to get mad, it's over for everyone. And the fact that they are like hundreds of miles in the air, if Hulk starts to get mad, everyone in that ship is getting smoked. I don't care what no one says. So yeah, I can't lie, I really like that. It was so cool seeing the fear that the Hulk had on everyone. So yeah.
Oh, I'm starting to want you to make me.
Yeah. Big man in a suit of armor. Take that off. What are you?
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
I know guys with none of that worth 10 of you.
Okay, right here, this is where the famous Steve versus Tony Stark foreshadowing happens. And I can't lie, that was a good line from Tony, as it does shows he's not just a man in an armored suit. We as the audience know he's more than just a man in an iron suit. And Steve saying that he knows people that have literally nothing to their name and are more of a man than Tony. Not realizing that Tony is also more than the money, the fame, and the armor. As we all know that he literally built a suit from scrap. Like, I can't lie, if Tony had nothing, he could still build it up. So I won't lie, Steve was kind of in the wrong here, but yeah.
I've seen the footage. The only thing you really fight for is yourself. You're not the guy to make the sacrifice play, to lay down on a wire and let the other guy crawl over you.
I think I would just cut the wire.
And right here, the fact that we now know that Steve ends up being wrong here is crazy, as Tony actually does end up being the man to make the sacrifice play. And right here, Tony's saying that he could just find another way out. I mean, he's not wrong, he probably could, as he's literally a genius, but again, he was also wrong in that sense as well. He had to sacrifice himself. I'm pretty sure he could not make a suit that could withstand the power of the Infinity Gauntlet, so yeah. And also the camera panning to Nick Fury when Steve says that all you do is fight for yourself. I think Nick Fury knows that Steve's actually in the wrong. Because, I mean, it may look like Tony's trying to fight for himself, but we all know he likes to protect people. And, I mean, literally later on in the movie, he literally tried to sacrifice himself again by throwing up that rocket, that missile, into a literal portal. So, yeah.
Always a way out. You know, you may not be a threat, but you better stop pretending to be a hero.
A hero? Like you? You're a laboratory experiment, Rogers. Everything special about you came out of a bottle.
Right here, we also see where Tony is actually in the wrong. As we later find out, Steve managed to be worthy of Mjolnir, which is a crazy feat that has nothing to do with the super soldier serum, but himself as a person. And it shows that even without the serum, he is still someone special. And I must say that Steve saying to Tony that he should stop pretending to be a hero is absolutely crazy. As well, he's literally friends with Tony's own father, which I think is also factoring into both of their tensions. Because while Tony probably thinks that his dad respected Steve more than himself, which I think is also adding on to the tension/rivalry that these two are having right here. So yeah.
Put on the suit. Let's go a few rounds.
You people are so petty and tiny.
Yeah, this is a...
Right here, I would like to add, I do miss this type of Thor, this version of Thor. As well, you can see in this whole movie and scene, he is a lot more serious, he's a lot more smart, and only says one or two comedic lines here and there, which actually relates to him as well. When the camera shows him from a lower angle, when he's speaking about you people are so petty and tiny, showing how belittling us humans actually are to an actual god of thunder. I thought that was pretty cool camera work right there. And also just helps factor in making his comedic lines actually make sense. Because later on, Thor just becomes a huge comedic joker, which I think should not happen. But yeah.
Agent Romanoff, would you escort Dr. Banner back to his...
Where? You rented my room.
The cell was just
In case you needed to kill me, but you can't. I know, I tried.
This right here has to be one of the darkest scenes/lines from the MCU. And from Bruce himself. Because it shows how tragic his life really is. That being the Hulk has caused his life to change drastically for the worse. His life is so bad to the point he's actually had to run from governments, from militaries, had to leave his own girl, had to leave his own life behind. Like he could not possibly have a normal life. And from the reactions that you can see right here, Tony realizes how bad and tragic Bruce actually has it. Because previously he was making a bunch of jokes about the Hulk and Bruce himself, why he's not getting angry. And right here you can see that he realizes that it's more deep than it is. So yeah.
I got low. I didn't see an end, so I put a bullet in my mouth and the other guy spit it out.
This right here is just one of my favorite scenes/dialogues because, well, it just shows how fearful the Hulk is. That even a mere bullet, Bruce attempting to, does absolutely niche because, well, the Hulk just spits out the bullet like nothing happened. That is absolutely crazy. And I'm pretty sure there is like a deleted scene somewhere of Bruce actually doing this. And I can't lie, it's just so sad that the fact that Bruce actually got that low. And I mean, he didn't even get a proper arc in the whole MCU. I don't know what the MCU were doing, they just absolutely butchered the Hulk. But yeah.
So I moved on. I focused on helping other people. I was good until you dragged me back into this freak show and put everyone here at risk.
Right here, what's crazy is after Bruce saying how he was actually living okay, he was helping people, he was trying to build up his life slowly, until Natasha brought him into the S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier, which can literally put everyone at risk. I think that is such an underrated line as well. Even though he hates people like S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that, he doesn't want to endanger anyone. And I feel like that line just goes way over people's heads because I don't think people realize that Bruce doesn't actually want to hurt people because he knows the Hulk. Nothing can stop the Hulk. So yeah.
You want to know my secret, Agent Romanoff? You want to know how I stay calm?
And what's actually mad funny about this is that Bruce literally said a couple seconds ago, the Hulk literally spat out the bullet he shot. And Nick and Natasha both grabbed their little pistols, which I think was pretty funny, but yeah. And also, just in this very moment, you can literally see Bruce's movement picking up the scepter, showing how the scepter was actually possibly affecting Bruce the whole time. You can even see Thor was getting ready for a scrap because I think he realizes that the scepter's actually got a hold on Bruce, which I think was pretty cool, but yeah.
Dr. Banner. Put down the scepter.
And yeah, the scene ends right there. But yeah, genuinely, this is one of my favourite scenes as the dialogue and acting was on point from everybody. And the fact that everyone had their own valid points and perspectives. And neither one character was right or wrong. Which I thought was pretty cool. And also the dark scene from Bruce was incredible. And the acting as well. And also the foreshadowing from Steve and Tony was so good. But yeah,